Pod on Lansdowne is not pleased to be joined by Liam Fennessy, who didn't get the memo that we were starting at 7:30. It is now 7:39. We even gave him the extra time. He's not here, but you know who is here, ladies and gentlemen? Friend of the program, I believe the most recurring guest in the program's history at this point. We'll have to double check, but she's certainly up there. New York Yankees correspondent Emily Nyman, welcome back onto the program. It's good to have you back, Emily, for our annual tradition of yelling at each other before we get this whole season underway.
It's great to be back. I love talking with you guys, even though you're Boston fans, but I won't hold it against you. Just excited for the season, fellas.
Is this the first time, I would say that, is this the first time that you're on with all of us together, but clearly not all of us are together, but is this the first time that you've been on with Jake in here? Because I know it's definitely been you and I solo conversations.
Last season.
Before. Okay.
Last season, Jake was on, and I'm pretty sure it was all four of us.
Gotcha. Okay. I mean, the years start to run into each other when you get to my ripe old age. When you get into unk status, as the kids would say. That hurt as I said that.
Well, isn't Liam older than you?
Liam is older than me, but
all right, I'll call him Unk. You're an old soul, though.
Old, I would say, yeah, maybe I'm the oldest soul of the bunch, but I guess age is but a number. So I guess maybe if I'm older in the soul, that does make me the true unk of the group here. But no, our AL East preview rolls on with the Bronx Bombers, and I guess Emily, I guess there's no other way to start than asking you straight up: is it over?
You know, I go on a real roller coaster before the season anyway. So obviously we've had a few lumps, to say the least, in the past week. But no, it ain't over till it's over. And that may be stupid optimism on my part, but got 162 games. Like the AL is wide open once again. So
it really is.
I can't. I would never in a million years say the Yankees, if they were like, actually, like, I don't know, maybe the 2013 type Yankees, then yeah, probably. But they have more. You know, they got some guys in there. The pitching's going to be iffy, but the whole division, the pitching, except for you guys, is a little iffy and whatever. You got to play the games at the end of the day. So,
hey, we're dinged up. We're dinged up too in the rotation.
That's true.
Yeah, Cutter Crawford, Garrett Cole. You know, I feel like that kind of cancels each out there.
We're temporarily dinged
both
up.
Our aces are gone.
Yeah, you're
full long dinged up. And I asked that first question, of course, a bit tongue-in-cheek as I mentioned that. But let's take a step back here, Emily. After a World Series berth in 2024, the Yankees, is, to use the word that you did, it's been a roller coasters type of an offseason. I'm curious to hear what your letter grade would be as we're a couple of weeks away from opening day for this offseason. Because on the one hand, you lose one of, if not the best hitter in baseball in Juan Soto. Young superstar goes across town. Well, I guess not across town, goes south town. Not really across.
He traveled southeast.
Exactly. Oh, southeast. Okay, so kind of cross? A little bit.
Crossed the river. He crossed the East River.
Technically. Okay, fair enough. Cross river. I think we could all kind of agree on that. Goes cross river to the National League. Well, yeah, you're the native New Yorker now, Jake. I forget that you're going to yell at me about all this.
River, I guess. No, yeah, I guess he did. He crossed the East River, yeah.
Geography on Lansdowne here. But Soto, of course, goes to the Mets. But then you could contend that other parts of the roster did improve. I mean, now you add Max Fried to the rotation. Cody Bellinger joins the lineup. There are some areas on the roster. Devin Williams is now the closer, and he looks scary without a beard. We had that whole thing. Changes in the culture of the Yankees. All of that together. What would you give a grade for this offseason?
You know, I'm going to be optimistic, and I'm going to give it a B. It would have been A++, obviously. Getting Soto, losing Soto was heartbreaking. I'm still not over it. I don't think I'll ever get over it. But the Yankees always get their guy, you know? So I can't really be too like, woe is me about it. It's not like we've had been at a loss for free agents in the past, but I'm happy they got freed. I'm a little nervous about his injury history, but who isn't these days with pitchers? Whatever. Maybe some Yankee fans would call me like a shill or whatever the armchair GMs like to say, but I have to be optimistic. Like you said, they added to the bullpen. They added some starting pitching. Cody Bellinger, has a high upside. Who knows what's going to happen with him? I mean, Paul Goldschmidt, whatever. But the Yankees are always making moves, and they are always trying to improve. Sure, they may not do as much as I think that they could do or they should, but at the end of the day, with half the league not doing shit, I'm not going to get on this podcast and be like, I wish it's a C or a D. Like, there's some teams that don't ever do anything. So the Yankees are still going to be in it, and I can't complain.
Isn't that right, Fennessy?
Hi, guys.
Ain't that right? There he is.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Guys, I got to be honest. I was crashing out. I'm happy you didn't have to see that.
All right.
A lot of technical
All right, move on. We'll address it later. We'll keep.
Well,
rolling.
it's nice of you to join us, Liam, from there. Now
Thanks for having me.
Now going into opening day, Emily. Of course, now with Derek Cole going to be sidelined for the 2025 season. Yeah, dead. Yeah, they got him. They got him. He fell for the old Looney Tunes painted tunnel on the side of the canyon trick. But now Max Fried being at the top of the rotation, obviously he's paid to be a top of the rotation, towards the top of the rotation sort of guy. Even with Luis Gil, Rookie of the Year, now going to be sidelined for a couple of months now, who's the one guy in this rotation that you think has to step forward and contribute big-time innings if the Yankees are going to be right back in the mix for an AL pennant this year?
I mean, Carlos Rodon, he's getting paid a lot of money. He was brought here to be a number 2 at the time and then was bumped down to number 3 this year, but now he's back into that 2 spot. So he has to have a big year. He cannot have a 2023-like season. Last year he was okay, but I think that he can be better. Hopefully bearded Rodon is now back, and hopefully that aura kind of helps him on the field, but he really needs to step up because without him, then the entire rotation is just completely shot and collapses.
Emily, well, I have a question, and it's sort of related to what you just said. Is there anyone reporting on which Yankees have grown facial hair, and then on top of that, what facial hair they have grown? Is anyone tackling that?
Sadly, no. No one's really focusing on it. I've
been
doing sort of like my own keeping track just in the back of my head by looking at pictures that I'm getting from spring training, like noticing like, oh, Big G, he's got his 5 o'clock shadow going. Yeah. This one's got that going. But a lot of the guys, I feel like nothing really too exciting lately. Not yet, anyway.
Okay. All right.
I feel like that could be a good Twitter account, like Yankees facial hair watch.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a free one for either Emily or...
It's fucked up they had Devin Williams shave and then changed the
and
rule.
then they announced it.
Yeah.
Well, they saw him. Once Cashman and Steinbrenner saw him, they were like, Jesus Christ, look at this fucking guy.
That's funny.
I think we could have something there.
Legacy
a Yankees facial hair report. We could.
I'll let one of the Red Sox fans listening take that one and run with it.
Feels like a Christie one to do that. I mean, Christie just in the chat said need a Yankees weekly beard report. I think we're all on the same wavelength there. On that front. Speaking of the rotation, one of the interesting storylines for the Yankees that has come up in recent weeks is the disgruntlement, if that's even a word, of one Marcus Stroman about how he's stomping his feet, how he's going to be part of the rotation. And it just goes to show that even in February, when we're all on roster resource on Fangraphs and, looking at all this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is going to be the rotation for the whole year. Things can change like that. So to see him stomping his feet to be, I'm part of this rotation, the Yankees at first saying, absolutely not. No, we got to give some innings to Clark Schmidt here and whatnot, to now where he's being relied on. It's like Jurassic Park baseball, always finds a way.
Yeah, he really spoke that one into existence. And part of me is like, did he know? Did these guys talk? Did he know, like, Cole was not really right? Did he know that Luis Gil was struggling a little bit? Did he know something? But I guess, I didn't even really see anything wrong with what he said. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with a guy not wanting to do something and knowing what's best for him in his own career. Like, this isn't Little League. This isn't a high school team where it's like, oh, do what is best for the team. Like, these guys aren't on this team to learn how to become men and become, members of society and play on a team. This is a fucking professional team. So a guy being like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't think that's what's best for me right now. What's wrong with that? I don't know. That's just me.
True. It is funny because the whispers at the time were like, okay, well, maybe they'll dangle Stroman to someone who needs some pitching help, and then about 48 hours later, they're like, maybe not so much. Maybe Stroman, come on, right here. We'll give you your locker right next to Judge. You'll be grand old happy times over in the Bronx. Speaking of Judge, because obviously the loss of Soto is massive, but there are still some formidable hitters at the top of the lineup. Judge,
Judge.
atop of that,
and Judge
and Aaron.
Yeah, and whatever Judge's middle name is. Where do you think he hits in the order
James,
this year? Because yes, there you go. Thank you very much for the middle name call out
For
there.
anyone keeping track at
Where do you
home.
think he hits in the order? Because there's obviously, you could bat him 3, you could bat him 2. Pros and cons to each of those. So I'm curious to hear your thinking. If you're managing the team, where do you bat him?
I would prefer he bat as high as possible so he gets as many plate appearances as possible. So
Okay.
I think 2 would be best for him, and I think that's probably where he's going to end up. That is where he hit before Soto last year, and then he moved down to 3. So I think that he'll just be back up in that 2 spot because honestly, who else is going to hit there? Like, who else could they possibly justify giving more plate appearances to in this team than Aaron Judge?
Yeah,
Whoever's going to lead off is going to be a stretch.
Yeah, I forget
who is going to
it was
lead
early.
off. Is that going to be a spot for Jazz or?
I think that they're shaping up to have Austin Wells lead off. Now, I don't know if that's really going to be possible. He can't start every game, obviously, so I don't really know what their plan is for that. And admittedly, I don't really watch many spring training games. Just never really been my thing. So
Neither
I know
do we,
Wells,
but not by choice.
Yeah, we can't.
Nelson just doesn't fucking air him anymore.
Really?
Emily, you ever hear of Charlie Moore and his outdoor program? Because we got to air those instead of Red Sox spring training games and whatnot. And dining playbook, of course. It's a Nesson thing. New Yorkers wouldn't understand.
Does Yes have any strange,
original programming?
Not Yankee related original programming?
No.
It's all Yankees.
Now it's
nice.
the Gotham Sports Network. They've kind of merged with MSG. So they probably do. But no, they used to not. It was just basically Yankees and Nets.
Yeah. I wish Nesson was like that.
Like former Mets players, going out.
Yeah, we have Charlie
trying
outdoors. He
nightclubs
goes fishing with former
the Mad
players and stuff.
Fisherman.
The Mad Fisherman. We have Dining Playbook, which is Boston area restaurants, a restaurant show. Dirty Water TV, of course. Boston Globe Today, which is news. It's all.
Do they
You're
have
not missing
Red
much.
Sox
That's it, right?
programming?
Jake, I feel
Is
like
that
you covered
it?
it pretty well.
Oh well, Sox Appeal, but that's gone.
Formerly.
They canceled it.
That was a
They
dating show at Red Sox games in the late,
Really?
the late aughts, early
Yeah.
teens.
Yeah,
yeah.
some lucky lady would have 3 gentlemen to go on mini dates with. It was speed dating, all within three inning blocks at a time or so, and then she would pick. Now I really liked Bobby over there from Revere. That was fun during the 7th inning stretch there with Bobby.
You guys
And then
should
they go
check in
home.
with them, see how they worked out. All the different winners of that.
Oh
show.
my God! Sox
I
Appeal
would
exit
wager.
interviews?
I would wager that's not one couple from that show made longer than 2 weeks.
Hey, you don't know that.
Once there's someone in chat here, but my parents have been happily married for 20 years after meeting during
product
a
of
Wednesday
Sox
night
Appeal.
game against Tampa Bay. Yeah,
We should actually put a call out. If you or anyone was on Sox Appeal, please reach out.
We got a really good question in the chat here from Zoidberger, who big friend of the program. Emily, of course, a big Legos fan. If you follow her on Twitter at @MSheDoesIt, always does Lego sets there. She goes, Emily, if you could have one Yankees player made into a Lego set, who would it be?
I want to say Judge just because it would be a massive set with a
That's
lot
a
of
big
pieces.
set.
Life-size Aaron Judge.
I'm going to have to say, I think Jazz, because he wears the most interesting gear in terms of color. He wears a lot of diamond necklaces that have a lot of different colors and shapes on it. So I think that I'd have to say Jazz Chisholm Jr. It's a good question.
It's a very good question. Shout out to
Emily,
The
what's
day
the last?
MLB lends-
What's the last set you did?
I built the 2025 modular set, the Tudor Corner, which is just their
that's
full
cute.
buildings.
I like that
Yeah.
one.
I have about 10 sets to my left that are still in boxes,
Unopened.
unopened.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm pretty backlogged here, guys. There are a lot. I'm going to do a lot of building in the season. I stress build, especially in the postseason. I really motor through a lot of different sets because I can't sit still. If I'm not pacing in my kitchen, I am stress building Lego.
I think the last one I did was the Jaws one.
Oh, that one is sick.
Yeah, It's a nice display too.
Yeah.
Every time
You guys
I see
aren't.
like, oh
You
wow,
guys
that's a
aren't
nasty.
Lego.
No, not
gents,
really.
right?
But every time I see one, I'm like, oh my god, like that's really really cool. And then I look and it's like $500, and I'm like,
Yeah, I
okay,
just don't.
that's probably
so
why
I
I'm
don't
not a
have the
Lego
bread for
guy.
that.
Yeah.
If there's like
Oh,
a cool
wait.
Star Wars Lego, I'll get that. But no, I haven't built one in a long time.
I just built one last week. Sorry, not the Tudor Corner. The Great Wave art set one. I built it like 5 days
yeah.
ago. I fucking forgot.
Do you like those? I
Took
always
too
see.
much on vacation.
Do you like the art set ones? I've never done one of those, but I feel like I'd get bored.
That was the first one I ever did. And it's hard to say because I was with my family when I was doing it, and my sisters and my parents were asking me a ton of questions about Lego as I was building it. So that really
You're doing like a
increased
sales pitch.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Getting
as I'm
commission
doing
on
I'm
it.
like nerding out big time. Usually I say that to my fiance or
That's
just to the room.
the Fitz
So
and
it's nice to have the
Liam.
captive audience.
The Lego headquarters is in it. Their U.S. headquarters is moving to Boston. So
That's right.
Oh!
It might actually
on,
be in the Car Growers building.
on Mass Ave.
How
right?
about that?
Yeah, but they built over the pike.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that they were. That's
Fitz, it's
excellent.
true.
How about that? Lego
true,
sponsor
Fitz.
the pod. No free ads, but Lego sponsor the pod. Talking about Legos, because the rest of the Yankees lineup is so uninspiring, we have to do something to talk about. Oh, got him, nailed him. But in all seriousness, outside of Judge,
No, in all
Emily, to
seriousness,
kind of
though,
take the question that I had with
I hate you guys. Why do I?
how
agree with
confident are you in the offense outside of number 99?
How confident are you in the offense reaching
Corey Seager with the
100
left-handed
runs
swing?
scored this year?
I can't wait to revisit this when the fucking Red Sox finish fourth and the Yankees win. The
I
division.
actually feel
I'm gonna
supremely
listen to this
confident
episode.
about the
I'm
Yankees'
gonna
offense
do a
being
live
bad.
listen.
I don't know what would have to happen.
Tell
Well, you took us through it, Emily. Give us why that won't be a disaster, their offense.
Because somehow it ends up not being a disaster. Because Aaron Judge is so good that he just carries the entire lineup on his back to 98 wins. It could be a dog shit roster. Like the 2022 lineup was not great, but they won 99 games because Aaron Judge is an absolute freak of nature. So I will always have faith in Judge, and that's really all I can say. Everyone else, they just kind of have to be decent. They don't even have to be great for it to work. And that's really what the Yankees are banking on. It can be a frustrating watching experience. I'm not going to lie to you, but it has worked for the last few years. And who knows, Judge is getting older, so it's not going to last forever, but I'm going to fucking stick with it.
Which, that's
until the end.
scary, right? That he's,
Oh my God, I can't even think about it.
yeah.
Age 33 season incoming.
he's
I
going to be
will say-
33.
Why did you even join
Dude,
the
his
show?
rookie year, he was
Who
like
said he
26
had
or
to be here?
I understand, but Jake, this is like an existential crisis. Like I would have said, yeah, he's like 30. Big difference between 31 and 33.
Judge
There's that
is
goal
almost
difference
he's
younger
unk.
than
sneaking in again. 2
Judge,
years back on
Judge
everything.
is unk. He's unk.
He
Judge
is.
Judges,
The unction.
welcome to the unction. Him and Paul
Yeah.
Goldschmidt. They're 2-3 in the order. Wow.
Well, Emily, I want to ask you this.
Judge has
because
dad power this year, though.
I was
Good point.
True.
okay.
Have to
yeah.
factor that
I
in.
was looking at the lineup, and to me, like, I think they have to make a trade before opening day for like a corner, like a third base
Yeah.
or a corner outfield, like for someone to hit home runs, like especially with Stanton injury. I mean, I don't like if Judge misses a game.
Why would you say that out loud?
No, I just mean like he takes one day off. Like, oh, he's a little.
He'll miss 8. He's not going to play
He
162.
woke up a little sore this morning. Who the fuck is
I'm
hitting
looking
the
at it
baseball?
right now. He played 158 last year.
I mean, the
pretty
Yankees,
good,
they have
but
to be
that's 4 games.
praying that Bellinger, that the short porch like gives him something.
I'm telling you, he's going
they
to
need
turn
him
into
bad.
2010, 2011 Curtis Granderson.
Just hit it straight up.
That's my fear. Yeah, he's just going to
Yeah.
love that porch.
They definitely need a corner. Like the fact that someone posted the other day, it was like, who do you want to play third? Oswaldo Cabrera or Oswaldo Peraza? And I was just like, kill me.
Coughing baby
now.
versus
Like,
coughing
this is
baby.
horrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely have to do something. I don't even know who's available though. That's the thing. Like, the Yankees.
Nolan Arenado.
Ugh.
I actually think that's a pretty good fit. Like, I didn't want him on the Red Sox, but I think the position the Yankees are in right now, that actually is like a solid fit. But,
I mean, it's a name. It's definitely like putting lipstick on a pig over there. Because, like, sure, it just sounds better than the other two options because he's famous. And that's really all he has going for him. People are like, oh, he's an amazing third baseman. Like, I'm sorry, defense does not fucking matter over there, okay? Like, I'm glad that Nolan Arenado is great, but that's not why the Yankees need a third baseman. They don't need a third baseman for amazing defense, okay? They don't need it. They need someone who can just hit a little bit, and he can't really hit a little bit anymore, so... But whatever. I mean, at this point, whatever.
I'm blanking so hard. Who's the Yankees' third outfielder?
Oh, it's...
Your mind instantly goes, Brett Gardner still? Is he still doing this?
Who is it, Emily? Sorry?
It's Jason Dominguez.
Oh. That's a DH. That's all I'll say. That young man is a DH.
Let's talk about the Martian.
I guess they can DH him now.
Fine.
Right?
You think it'll be fine? Because all I see from Yankees Twitter is that, like, the Martian's taking the step forward, but then the Red Sox tweeters, who I love very dearly, will throw him in Volp shit together, as they like to call him.
Yeah, I think Dominguez is going to figure... He's going to hit, but there's a low light of him playing left, like, daily. Oh, yeah. I mean, he fucking stinks out there.
Yeah, he looks rough.
I didn't realize he's only got 26 major league games under his belt. I keep forgetting, like, he hasn't had much of a taste.
No, but he somehow has like 5 errors in that time.
Yeah, that's a DH. Have they said it? They'll just DH him if Stanton's going to be hurt?
I don't think so. I mean,
how do we not even mention Stanton? Wow.
He's too young. You can't have him. If a guy's coming,
he makes an error every game.
The 22-year-old DH.
I love it.
You love it. Yeah, you would.
I mean, fine. Let him play left. Let those balls roll by him. That's fine. I'm trying to help you guys out.
It'll be fine. Left field.
He's just trying to be a good friend.
Is incredibly hard to play, but I'm sure he'll make it work somehow.
Yeah, wait.
Whatever.
That's another. Why
bombs,
is he playing left and not right?
Because Judge plays right.
Wouldn't you? Okay. I mean, Judge was playing center last year. I would have been like.
He shouldn't have been.
I would be like, Jason, pal, you're playing right. You need as little ground to cover as possible.
I care more about preserving Aaron Judge. And
that's fair. I would too.
Let Dominguez figure it out. You know what I mean?
Plus, Bellinger can patrol center pretty well, so you have that going for you, which is nice.
When did you guys learn, Emily? When did you learn that Jason Dominguez's name was just Jason?
Wait, what do you mean?
What?
Like, I always thought it was like a Latin thing, but he's just named after Jason Giambi.
I have to right away.
You off, Jake?
I suppose.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was like, I don't know what I thought it was, but it's just Jason, but he has 2 S's and he was named after Jason Giambi.
Emily, what did you think about? What was your reaction when you found out that Aaron Judge's name is Aaron? Like, what was
right.
that?
The 2 A's. The 2 A's are throwing him off.
The 2 A's. Oh my goodness gracious. Emily, I've been asking people this during our AL East preview series. Sort of a 3-pronged question. What does the extreme positive 2025 season for the Yankees look like? What goes right? What has to go right to get to the highest potential that you possibly can? What is the low maximum? If everything goes wrong, what does that look like? And then in your heart of hearts, what do you think the outcome for the year is?
I mean, the best case scenario would obviously be Luis Gil being able to come back to lengthen that rotation. Carlos Rodon, all these guys having a good season. Fried staying healthy. Aaron Judge staying healthy, obviously. And I think that with the AL wide open, the Yankees could go back to a World Series. But low light would be everything I just said, the opposite happening.
The exact opposite.
Right, which in this sport, which is so annoying, is entirely possible, and I hate that. And that would obviously be disastrous. And, I have the fool's optimism of, right before opening day, that even the low lights, I feel like the AL is still kind of
It really is wide
team
open.
in the AL. You know what I mean? Like, so I feel like for the Yankees, for everything to go sour, that means that I don't think things will go everything right for other teams. So even everything going south, I think the Yankees can still have a shot because there's so many teams, so many wild card spots. And do I think that things would go so south that they would be the 7th or worse team in the AL? No, I don't think that. So I think that even worst case scenario is they snag a wild card spot.
You willing to put a win number, ballpark on it?
I think they're going to be good for I don't know. I'm going to say 94 wins.
94. There you go. I mean, 94 in this year, I think, would probably be enough to win the AL East with the Yankees, with the Sox, with the O's, potentially the Rays, because they're always just a pain in the ass. I'm going to.
I'll speak for myself. That's too high. I'm going to say it.
Sure.
Too high. You heard it. You heard it from me.
Did you guys have any final questions? Because I certainly had one final question.
Yes, I have one. I have one as well.
I feel like Jake might steal my question here, but let's.
No.
Jake also had negative things to say about the Yankees' rotation at the beginning of last season.
Yeah, good memory.
Okay. All right. I guess my main concern.
I don't remember anything else we talked about, but that just stayed in my mind. I was like, God damn it, Jake.
My concern with
Son
the
of a
Yankees
bitch.
this year is, I mean, especially like the Colin. Is Stanton going to be out for the year? Like, are they set or what? Do we know?
I don't know.
Are they just hanging out? What's going on right
Double
now?
tennis elbow at first.
Yeah.
Then it was personal things they don't want to talk about. So I don't know what's going on, Big G. All I care about is they could keep him like frozen like fucking Walt Disney. They thaw him out in the end of September, get him ready for October. That's all they need him for.
Well, I'm just confused because they were like, he was like, yeah, my elbows are bad, and if I get surgery, then I'm done for the year. Well, what's the alternative? They didn't even say. Is he just like trying to prehab it or something? Whatever. I guess
he's off doing something with his elbows, I assume.
All right.
I don't know what that is, but I guess
my
we'll find out soon enough.
concern is that I just feel like they need a lot to go right, and I think even if they split the difference, like something go right, something go wrong, I just don't think that's enough. Is how I kind of look at that roster now. Like obviously, Judge is going to be Aaron Judge. And then you've got like a couple Bellinger's, if he's what he's been the last 2 seasons, he's like a little better than league average. And you got like 3 or 4 guys a little better than league average, and then it's like after that, I don't know.
I mean, isn't that baseball, Jake? Like, I feel like that is almost every team in the AL. Like,
no, our roster's great.
Everything can go well, but
nope, ours is great.
Perfect.
Beautiful roster. It's beautiful. It's great. Christina
Chacko. I genuinely don't believe after. I mean, because I thought for sure the Yankees were going to finish in last in 2023, and we were so close going into September, and I just don't believe I'll ever see a losing season in the Bronx. I mean,
I don't have a losing season.
There hasn't been one since like George
95,
92.
94, or
95. They made
That's
wow.
Yeah, 92 is insane. I don't think it'll ever happen. I think Emily's right. Like, end of the day, they're probably 86, 87 wins at worst.
Yeah, like I think
if they could swing a deal for a decent corner, a corner guy with pop, my whole outlook changes. I think they so desperately need.
Just wonder who that could be this late into spring training. Before
I wish they brought
starts.
Glaber back. Like, can't put the toothpaste back in the tube on that one. But like, I wish that they just brought him back, even just for another year. Because now it's like, all right, he's on the Tigers, and now we're having question mark play third base. That's going to be our opening day. Like, I don't know. I feel like it was just a weird move, but whatever. I'm not a GM, so what the fuck do I know at the end of the day?
No, we know more than
job
GMs.
Security for life.
We know more than GMs.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
I say it all the time.
The final question I had for you, Emily, I just wanted to get your take on this. How happy are you that you don't have to root for Alex Verdugo anymore? Because I was very curious about that.
I'm thrilled. It's been a tough run. First, we had that shithead Josh Donaldson. And then, okay, so when they brought on Verdugo, and I'm pretty sure I said this last year, but I'm going to say it again.
You did. I recall what you said.
Move happened like the day before the Soto trade, and I thought that was the move. Like all of a sudden it was like breaking Yankees
There's our outfielder.
trade for Verdugo, and I was like, oh no, like this is horrible. So I'm glad that I don't have to watch him play. I'm glad they followed it up with Soto, and I'm also very glad that I don't have to watch him play. I thought for sure they were going to bring him back just because the Yankees love bringing guys like that back for some reason, but they haven't so far. But now that I've just said this and expressed so much relief, the news is going to drop in fucking 30 minutes that they're signing him to some sort of fucked up deal.
Yeah, chat saying extend Verdugo.
Nah,
Verdugo was my favorite Yankee
going,
since Ellsbury in there. Yeah,
he's going across the Pacific.
It's
to
crazy.
Japan
Like,
for the Guangdong Tigers.
To Japan. Yeah, Fitz, thanks for
China,
selling
I
that one
suppose,
out.
March 12th.
You're welcome, Jake.
unemployed.
Anytime. Emily, if people want to find you, want to hear more from you, where can they go?
You can find me on Twitter at mshedoes. And maybe I'll get my podcast going one of these days. I'm hoping to this season. I mean, last year I wanted to get it going halfway through the season, but then I felt it would be bad luck. And ultimately I was right. They would have probably lost in a worse fashion in the ALCS had I got my podcast going.
Their luck is horrible right now, so I feel like if
right,
you're
I
gonna
had
do
nowhere
it,
to go but up. I can only increase the luck.
Yeah.
We started doing this in
dropping-
2022, and it's been
Yeah,
nothing
we're
but
bad.
shit for the Red Sox
Nothing
since
but
then.
mid.
So let us be a warning, maybe. But Emily
Guys,
Nyman,
thank you
as
so
always,
much.
we appreciate having you on. It's always a blast, and we'll have you back on soon enough so that we can revisit some of Jake's takes from this episode and look back upon those fondly.
I look forward to it. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Em.
Stream won't end. There we go.